F1 2020 is the official video game of the 2020 Formula 1 and Formula 2 championships and is developed and published by Codemasters. It is out now on Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Stadia. The game is the 12th installment in the franchise and it features all of the 22 circuits, 20 drivers and 10 teams from the 2020 Formula 1 World Championship. As always guys, please hit that subscribe button, support the channel, hit the thumbs up if you enjoy the video, hit the thumbs down if you don't, and hit that bell so you never miss one of my videos. So guys, this is my review for F1 2020. As some of you may know, I am a huge fan of Formula 1 and so I was very much looking forward to getting my hands on F1 2020, especially after the changes they made in last year's game. So please check out my review for F1 2019 for my thoughts on that. Now since 2009, Codemasters have slowly been improving many aspects of their Formula 1 games. They have refined the career mode, brought in classic F1 cars, improved its AI drivers and launched new modes like the fully licensed F2 series and now with this year's excellent My Team. Let's go through the new things that have been added this year, starting with the new driving aids that will be a huge help to those newcomers to F1 or people who don't normally play racing games. Casual mode offers the most accessible F1 experience to date. It removes the more complicated systems like ERS and DRS, along with the assisted steering and braking that will help you get around the tracks just like the pros, making for a way more enjoyable experience for the more novice or younger players. But if you would like to make the game harder like in past games, you can always do that and turn off all the assists for a more realistic experience. This year's game has had some more tweaks made to the handling of the cars which made them feel much more smoother and more responsive. The braking distances have also been shortened, so you will need to judge your braking correctly when jostling for those positions. The AI driving has also been improved, especially on the harder difficulties. At master difficulty and above, the AI hounds you at nearly every turn, dive bombing your inside line or fighting with you on the way out of all the corners. Overtakes on the AI are also a bit better and they seem much more aware, like making little moves to cover your overtakes, making for some really fun and intense racing. The result is that the racing feels way more tactical and challenging and I have been enjoying my battles with the AI this year. The driving also feels much better on the controller this year and as most people will use a controller, this is a really good thing. Although the ultimate way to experience F1 games will always be with a steering wheel and pedals, it just takes the racing to another level. The career mode has also seen some changes. You can now change the length of a season to 10, 16 or the full 22 races, making it so much more approachable for those of us with less time on our hands. You can now also start your career with a full season in F2 before advancing to F1. Or you can try out the new mode My Team, which is by far the highlight of this year's F1 game and a first for console F1 games. My Team allows you to create a 21st team and you can sign your own drivers, power units, create your own team livery, customize your driver and even assign cash and resource points to develop your car and team. I really do love the RPG style elements, and I think that this is the way to go with the future F1 games for sure. My Team offers you a shot at running your very own F1 team, and it is so much fun. I can see it becoming like F1's version of FIFA's career mode or Pro Evo's Master League. The interview format that was brought in a few years ago, where you get interviewed by Claire and her cameraman, is key to keeping your department and team happy. But the presentation of your answers still feels boring, and there has not been much change in that department. However, the idea of being a constructor as well as the driver is much more interesting, with your input and decisions key to propelling your very own racing team to the very top. Another new feature is the FIFA career mode style driving stats. Using real life data from the past few years, drivers are related according to the 4 categories: experience, racecraft, awareness, and pace. Your character and team partner will also get these stats, which you can develop further in My Career or in My Team mode, again giving you that nice sense of RPG style progression. Graphically, F1 2020 is much the same as last year's entry. The sense of speed feels great, and the visuals are again superb in 4K HDR. All of the tracks are accurately replicated, and the atmospheric lighting really does show the tracks at their best, especially the night races like Singapore. The HUD display has also seen a small change, making it look a bit more like what you see on TV, along with a new rear view mirror that you can now toggle on and off in the options. There are also the 2 new races that have been added to the calendar in the form of the Vietnamese Hanoi Grand Prix and the Dutch Grand Prix in Zandvoort. Hanoi is a high-speed street circuit with long straights and some technical corners, while Zandvoort is more of a roller coaster with its banked curves, a wicked last corner and sharp turns, making it a real fun and technical challenging track. And the ever-growing F1 esports scene, which got a huge boost during lockdown, even with the likes of Lando Norris giving some advice to Codemasters on the game's car handling aspects, gets plenty of attention with its own dedicated section for those hardcore racers. And as for the multiplayer, from the little that I've played, the multiplayer seems just as good as last year's entry, with plenty of game modes to keep you busy, like leagues, championship, and the very welcome return of split screen racing. Unfortunately, there are some parts of F1 2020 that I think need changing or updating. Nothing game breaking, but nonetheless, I think the garage cutscenes have become so stale, and some new ones would be really great. The national anthems during the podium celebrations would be a nice inclusion also. And the interview process with Claire is really becoming tiresome now, with the same old copy and paste animations and questions from previous years. And then there is the little things like not having enough common audio names for your driver creation, not having a proper character creator, and no commentary during races, which I feel, although hard to implement, would be real nice to have in some form. I'm sure we've had them in past Formula 1 games. And finally, I am getting real bored of Engineers Jeff's voice, who has been used for at least the last 5 F1 games. Sorry Jeff, but really, can't we just get a sound option with different engineer voices to choose from? Just having to hear the same one is now really getting annoying. But to be fair, most of these things can easily be added or updated next year, and with the fantastic addition of My Team, the game does feel fresh, but it would have been in real trouble, I think, had they not got this right, as everything else has not really seen any real big changes. Casual mode is a great addition, as well as finally bringing back split screen, and My Team is so much fun trying to run your own F1 team and having to make all those tough decisions behind the scenes, all while battling the likes of Mercedes, Ferrari, on and off the track throughout the 10-year career. There is also the very cool new Podium Pass, which lets you earn points as you play, so you can then spend it in the store to unlock some really cool customization options for your car and driver. Or even use those points to unlock VIP, which gives you access to even more options. Podium Pass also comes with its own fun challenges to complete, giving you even more chances to earn points to spend, and there's some real cool stuff that can be unlocked too. I must also add that there are also some microtransactions which have been starting to creep into the last couple of F1 games. I just hope that they don't start getting too silly with it and spoil the game. But I think you can actually unlock everything through Podium Pass, so that's fine. So for Formula 1 racing fans, F1 2020 is an absolute must buy. And for newcomers, I would also recommend it, especially now with the new casual mode. There is no better time to jump into F1 games than now. I gave F1 2019 an 8 out of 10. And mostly thanks to the excellent My Team, the return of split screen, and the fun podium pass and quality of life improvements, I'm going to have to give F1 2020 a very strong 9 out of 10. The actual racing and game modes are perfect, so not much change needed there. I just think that it needs a new lick of paint on the presentation side and we will have the perfect F1 game. This is by far the best F1 game money can buy, and Codemasters have done another fantastic job in bringing F1 to the masses, and as a huge F1 fan, I am really looking forward to see what they can do on next gen hardware. As always guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for your time and also thank you for the support. Hit that subscribe button if you've not subscribed to the channel yet. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs down if you didn't. And also hit the bell so you never miss one of my new videos. Also, please check out the Mr. P movie review. He's a good friend of mine, his name is Patrick, and I think he's fantastic at what he does. So please give him some love and check out his channel. And as for me, I'll see you guys on the next Joe Cobra video. Take care of yourselves and God bless. Peace.